Hello guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. So how are you guys? Welcome back, and today we are going to look at the background of this guy called Baltasar Engonga, this guy from Equatorial Guinea. Now, before we go to this whole topic, you know, this is an interesting topic, and I know most of you are very eager to hear what or who this guy would be or is or was. Right, because this guy now he has united East Africa, he has united Africa, and probably being that he's in the States, he has united the whole world with over 400 videos that he did. You know, this guy went ahead, had sex with so many ladies, and now they were doing, when he was having this sex, this guy was recording with 400 women. Those are the only women that we know, but I think the ones that refused that they are not to be recorded, there are over 400. Because tell me, if he was able to record only 400, how many of these ladies were there and never accepted to be recorded? Now, first and foremost, we are going to look at the background of this guy. Now, Baltasar Engonga was born in Equatorial Guinea. This was in the year 1968. This guy was so much of a politician. You see, he had participated in many politics back then in Equatorial Guinea. Now, Engonga had been involved in Equatorial Guinea's political scenes. Right, he had been involved in Equatorial Guinea political scenes for several decades, which gained him more popularity. This made Engonga to be so popular in the field of politics. In addition to political career, this guy Baltasar Engonga also was a successful businessman. Despite uniting us back and forth, this guy was also so successful. And about his family and whereabouts, this guy had 6 kids and a wife. By the time these videos were leaking, Engonga had only 6 kids, which were all, he had male kids and a lady. Now, besides politics, he was talented in various sectors. Engonga was so talented in various sectors in Equatorial Guinea, and we can see that towards 1979, despite criticism of the government records human rights, Engonga also emerged to be a democratic governance. Like, he was so democratic. He stood for himself. He stood for the truth. And you know, I think the only reason that this guy came to light, now his all videos were leaked, is because this guy was a truthful guy. He used to stand for his words. That's why you see in politics, once you are very talented and you are somehow successful and you are skilled and you will stand for yourself, then you have to have many enemies. And I think this guy Engonga had a lot of enemies because of his truth and because he was so straightforward and very strict, you know. Engonga was known for his loyalty for the president. Like, he was ever loyal despite chewing the wife to the security of the presidential escort. Despite chewing the wife, but he was very loyal to the president. And you can see this guy was somebody who was close to the president, and with his many achievements, we can say that Engonga truly was a successful man. Despite being in business, being in politics, we can see that Engonga truly was a well-mannered. After getting married, I think he was a well-mannered guy, because you see, every aspect of politics there must be enmity, and every enmity is brought about by either political affairs or because of the insiders who are enemies, you see. So this one made Engonga's video to leak so fast, and I saw him when he came later said that these videos were AI generated, which on the other hand, it might not be true, because we cannot assume that if they were AI generated, one person, same face with different girls, you see, it's kinda not making sense. So generally, you can just say that Engonga just decided, with all the wealth that he had, with all the time that he had, and this also happens in most of the government premises. You see, even if you're a lady out there and you need a job, basically one thing that you'll have to sacrifice yourself for you'll have to be chewed for you to get the job. Many ladies out here have done so, and who is Engonga not to chew them in order to give them job? Who is you not to chew them? Who are you not to chew them, not to give them jobs? And you know very well that ladies, when it comes to matters job, when it comes to matters jobs, ladies are always so desperate for it. Because you see, a lady is somebody who was born naturally with responsibilities, and ladies have to work hard. Because you know, as a man, men only provide for the family, all the either food and stuff, but when it comes to family responsibility, all the burdens are always laid to female. Now, without much ado, let's also look on the aspect of social life of Engonga. Engonga was somebody who was so social, and he had many friends. Despite having many friends also, we can add on top of it that Engonga had a lot of enemies. And these enemies were also his inside friends. You see? So, when speaking of this old story, when narrating this old story of this young man, of this great successful man Engonga, we should not fail to understand that in political field, despite having a lot of friends, despite having a lot of enemies, despite having a lot of friends, this a lot of friends will one day or will suddenly turn against you and become your most greatest enemy. Now, looking on this aspect of Engonga as a man and the aspect of the ladies that he slept with, let's put into consideration that Engonga never forced anyone for this case, because you know the desperation of this female or this gender towards getting money is always so high. They are always so desperate in a sense of getting money. So when they approach anybody with money, obviously they will give in. So looking at Engonga on all these angles and all these ladies on those other angles, we can say that Engonga never forced any lady to have with him a sexual affair. And much as we can speak of the ladies, and for a lady to give you a chance to record his privacy, then the level of trust in that lady would be so high. Now this brings us to a point that you know, you ladies, wherever you are, this is also a lesson to all ladies, whether married or unmarried. Be keen on people you accept, or be keen on the people you trust with your privacy. And leave alone the side of Engonga, we can also look on this aspect. This thing is so dynamic. Let's look on the aspect of now, let's take an example of Kenyan ladies. People are doing weird businesses. Call them. People are out here even selling nudes, and they've never trended. Now, because this one was a big name, he had to trend. Because this guy was so successful, people had to troll him on social media. When these things all happened under the name of one person, under the umbrella of one person, with Engonga, we can basically see that in as much as you'll be successful, you'll need few people in your life. Much as you are also successful in politics, then there are several people that you'll set aside. Now, I don't need some people. Because now, all this comes as a result of him being successful. Now, tell me, if by chance Engonga will not be successful, would we know that Engonga had chewed over 400 women? Despite being besides his success, would we know that Engonga had a sexual relationship, or a sexual intercourse with other partners? Would we have called it that? This all comes out because now Engonga is somebody who has name, because now Engonga is somebody who is now a threat to political affairs. Engonga also was always and ever a threat to the government. Now, we also have these young ladies that are coming. You know, we have to look at these things all in segment. We should not take sides, or we should not give each and every one of them a chance. We should now be lenient to every party. Youths are out here selling their nudes. I think most of the youths are out there selling their nudes. Female youths are out there also selling their nudes. married women and married men are also out there achieving each other. Now, there is no safety precaution against this thing. These are things that now we should just live and watch them, because there's no even measures put in place in order to curb such activities, because even the people who are in marriages are still doing all these kind of things. And if you can see from the exact example, like from this one of Engonga used to sleep with all married women. You can go check through those videos. There's no any unmarried woman in those videos. Over 400 videos with all married women. Now, Engonga, we can say that these are things that happens. Engonga has just come as a prophecy. It has just come to show us what happens daily in our marriages. It has just come to show us what happens behind the curtain. Can you check on your wife once you leave? Can you check on your husband once he leaves? Because you don't know what these people do. After they've left the house, what they end up doing are so mind-blowing. When you try following up, you try reaching on what these people do, you'll end up getting frustrated. So basically things that Engonga has just opened our eyes and see that for sure married men and married women are not safe place anymore. There's no safe marriage anymore, and even in youth era there are no safe youth, because even if you look at the youth, we have the LGBTQ thing, and we have the lesbianism, and we have the call it everything. Now there's nowhere that is safe currently, because these other things, they all happen under the same umbrella, because of the mind psychology is also polluted sexually. We have people who are so active sexually. People here tend to criticize these people, not knowing they have their own backstories. Because if you try following up, even those people criticizing Engonga, this guy, those people, they have even their dark ends more than Engonga. So we should not try and we should try to emulate a different perspective on how we view things. We should not always be there to judge. Like, we rush into conclusions, judge these people, do them this, do them that. But in real sense, when we bring every details of you, even yourself, you know what you do when you are alone. This one is just an example. This one was just but a lesson to everybody else. But these are what happens. These are what happens. We cannot say that they are not happening. All these things that we come across them every now and then. More so if you are in Telegram, we can see from the exposés. These are things that happens day in, day out, and people are even getting killed because of it. It's not that Engonga went out safely, but even right now, his security. When we talk of these things happening, now we have to look on the aspect of security, someone's security. Now, how many families are broken because of 400 videos? Now, right now as we speak, we have 400 failed marriages. 400 failed marriages, because now Engonga has just decided, being he was so social and he was a public figure and he had money, 400 marriages are just spoiled.